This is the year of the wood dragon. So each time we gather, we're going to build on what we had practiced in the previous circle. So you can see that there's a sequencing, but each circle can also be joined as a standalone. So I've tried to keep things fluid within a structure. And I was inspired to center our circles around the theme of the dragon because it just felt really big when I tuned in. There are all these facets, very creative, but I'm actually going to start with the micro. So the first 6 circles, today is the second of 6. We're going to explore and anchor our understanding of the dragon in ourselves, first and foremost, before we move out to explore things like Mother Earth and dragon energies. So we'll start with the self. That's the most fundamental way of learning how dragon energy works. So dragon energy, or kundalini, that's a term that you may be more familiar with. It's non-physical, but it resides in our body. And so it needs our body as a channel to express itself. The dragon is deeply connected with our nervous system. So you may have heard of kundalini energy. It's this incredible life force energy that sits at the base of your spine. And when it's awakened, it's a serpentine-like energy, the way it moves, and travels up to the top of your crown. So here in these 2 diagrams, you can see how the energy connects along the spine with the 7 main chakras of our body. So I'm going to show you a visual to highlight how our nervous system, our physiology, relates to the energetic kundalini fire. And, these images, you can see the correspondences, right? So we'll be connecting with our dragon first, learning how to activate this in a safe way. And then in the second half of the year, we'll learn how to ride the dragon. Once the dragon has its wings, we'll learn how we can use and apply it to our daily life. Remember that your body is actually a brilliant tool, right? Your nervous system, it's always working. It fluctuates between regulation and dysregulation. So these are terms that you may already be familiar with. So when I say resilience, I'm really referring to being flexible, adaptable, having the capacity to flex back and forth between both parasympathetic and sympathetic states. The good news is that we can always learn how to do it for ourselves. So rather than being broken, staying broken, we can experience a rebirth. And this is what today is all about, that rebirth, that energy of creativity that's arising in the form of, we'll be developing new healthy patterns to support you in regulating your nervous system. And this is where embodiment has become, it's become such a buzzword these days, right? There's a lot of talk about ascension, moving up into higher vibrational frequencies. But if we're not grounded and anchored in our bodies, then we lose touch with present reality, and we're then not able to function healthily. So a lot of the time when trauma occurs, we become disconnected, disassociated from our bodies. And as sisters, as women who are leveling up in our divine feminine, we want to be strong vessels to anchor in these high frequencies whilst remaining stable and solid.